All right, so the next question was, do I have a trick to remember the peak and onset of the different types of insulins? This one's really easy, actually. So here you go, Yessie. The peak and onset of the different types of insulins. Well, you have really only 3 insulins to remember. You have your rapid acting, your short acting, and now your long-term acting, okay? So, we already know now that our long-term acting doesn't have a peak. So you can just totally forget about this one. Your short-term acting is between 4 to 12, okay? I just read that, okay? But my card says between 4 to 12 for NPH. Now, I remember this by, let me show you here. Where's my eraser? There it is. I remember this by first remembering that my rapid acting is between 30 minutes to 90 minutes, okay? So between 30 minutes to an hour and a half. Cool? So 1.5 hours. The only other thing you have to remember now is between 4 and 12 hours is the next one. So what I like to do is I like to just say that 30 to 90 minutes is the first one, and then you can multiply it by 4, and that's your short term. So it takes, let's say, between 30 minutes to an hour and a half for the first one. And then if we basically quadruple it, it'll be between your 4 and 12 for your short one. Now, a good way to remember the short term or the intermediate acting is remembering that they're lin. They end in lin, like Novolog or Humalin. Humalin is basically your short actresses, basically your short acting. So I like to remember it as by thinking they're short actresses, like movie star actresses. So they're shorter, so they're like between like 4'12", or 4'11", or 4'10", right? In this way, their peak is 4 to 12. So they're really short, they're tiny actresses, and I don't know, that's how you can remember the peak. So that's how I remember it. For the onset, we know that your rapid acting drugs have an onset between 15 to 30, right? So between 15 to 30, there we go, that's a little better. And then our peak now picks it right up at the 30 marker, 30 to 90. So all you really have to remember is 15 to 30. Just basically, it happens really quick, is your onset. Right after that 30 goes into your peak, your 30 to 90, right? Almost the same thing with short-term actresses. You have between 30 minutes to an hour for your onset, because we know that it can't happen. We know our short actresses can't happen less than 30 minutes, because that would be rapid. So between 30 minutes to 60 minutes is our onset. And then our short actresses, they're really short, so it's between 4 and 12 hours. So guys, let me see here. let's talk about real quick our let's talk about real quick the DKA and HHS, hyperglycemic, hyperosmolarity, I think syndrome, I think what it's called. So let's talk about that real quick.